What's happening, investors? Dean here, and I hope you're all doing well. I am personally doing fantastic, and that is because an article recently came out that all but confirms the rumor that Cciv and Lucid Motors are merging. It's something that we've suspected for a while now. We've spoken about multiple times in this channel, but let's just go over what that article was and how I'm personally going to play this news, where I see the share price going. Am I going to hold? Am I going to sell? I personally think there will be a bit of a dip. So let's just figure that out in a second. But before I do this, just something I want to show you. This here is a portfolio of every stock that we've spoken about in this channel. And every time I make a new video regarding a new stock, every time this year, I've added it to this portfolio. And this is just to keep track about how we're going. And as you can see, if you look at the total gain section, every single stock, besides two, are negative. One is on 0%, so it's at the same price about when I spoke about it. So as you can see, we're pretty good. I take time in picking the stocks. I don't just make videos for the sake of making videos. I make videos to try and provide you with the best quality information as possible. If you check out SOS stock, for example, we're up over 50%, and we only started speaking about them last week. I was personally able to get up 100%. I got in and then I made the video. But 50% for a week is very, very good. And if you want to know who SOS are, they're in crypto mining. I'll leave my video for them at the end of this video, but don't click out just yet, because today we're going to speak about a company that we're up over 200% since we first started speaking about them, and that is Cciv, and we're going to speak about the rumored merger with Lucid Motors. So let's get straight into it by starting off with the stock price. Currently, we're just under $53 a share. We've had a monumental run up. This month has been crazy. Remember, this is a SPAC. SPAC start at $10 a share, which means it's up more than 500% just off a rumor alone. If you're watching this video, then you probably already know exactly what that rumor is. Bloomberg made an article claiming that Cciv, Churchill Capital, was in talks with EV car manufacturer Lucid Motors. And as you can tell by the stock price, as you can tell by the amount of people speaking about this company, investors are very excited, because Tesla is a stock that everyone wants to replicate. Everyone wants to find the next Tesla. And what better way to find the next Tesla in a stock than to find the next best EV manufacturer, in my opinion. I think Lucid Motors, Tesla, and NIO would be leading the charge in electric vehicles. But it is important to remember that Tesla is more than just a car company. They do other things. However, I still think that Lucid Motors is a fantastic company. They're in a very exciting industry right now, an industry set to explode. And I do think that if this merger does get confirmed and does go through, Lucid Motors share price could easily be $150 to maybe $300 in a few years' time. I really think this company has a lot of room to grow. But let's just speak about the recent news that came out that makes me even more confident in this merger. It's another Bloomberg article. Lucid Motors is set to near deal to go public via Klein's SPAC. Lucid Motors is nearing a deal to go public through a merger with a blank check company started by investment banker Michael Klein that could be announced early next week. According to people familiar with the matter, the combined entity would be valued at as much as $15 billion. The people said, asking not to be identified because the matter is private. The special purpose acquisition company has been in talks to raise between $1 billion and $1.5 billion in funding from institutional investors to support the transaction. The people added the valuation and the amount of additional funding could still change based on investor demand. So they're saying that the deal between Lucid Motors and Cciv could be announced early next week. And Bloomberg have been really good with their stock picks, particularly when it comes to SPAC. They seem to be on the money. I believe 98% of the rumored SPACs they spoke about actually came through. So I've got faith in this company. Of course, if you're investing now at these high prices, there is a lot more risk than from when, example, I was investing. I bought in personally at, I believe, the $15, $17 a share mark. So my risk was a lot more minimum compared to the risk of buying in now. And that's because if something comes out saying that this deal actually isn't happening, it's off, they couldn't come to terms, or whatever happens, or something along those lines, this stock will plummet straight back down to that $10 a share mark very, very quickly. And a lot of people will lose a lot of money. And a lot of people right now would also lose profits that they could have. So it is very risky. Please keep that in mind. I am not a financial advisor. Always do your own research before investing. Where do I see the share price going if this gets announced? I personally believe that this share price could very, very quickly rocket to $75, possibly $80 a share. If I see it get to the $85 a share mark, I might consider selling my position, because I believe that the merger is already heavily priced into the share price right now. So I do see a run up, of course, but I think there's going to be a lot of profit taking, and I see a dip. So the way I'm going to play this is, if I see this hitting the $85 share mark, I'm going to keep track of the stock. If I see it starting to drop off, I will sell my position and hope to buy in a few days, maybe a week, at a lower rate. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 85, maybe even $90 a share, if there's enough people jumping in and FOMOing into the stock. And then when that happens, I will see us consolidate to the $70, $75 a share mark quite comfortably. In the long term, if you don't want to risk the try to jump in and jump out, if you don't want to risk trying to time the market, I think you're fine to hold. If you want to just hold this company, I really see it as a fantastic long-term company, in my opinion. But I just know that with all the SPACs I've invested in, particularly with the rumored ones, they tend to all follow the same pattern. There's a few days of green, and then we see maybe a week of slow sell-off before we start picking up again. That is how I'm intending to play this stock. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm still happy. I've still made a lot of profit, and I will just have to reevaluate and try buy in at a higher price, which would be unfortunate. However, I'm pretty confident that we will see a bit of a sell-off in the coming days after this merger is announced. And that is if the merger announced. Please remember, this is still a rumor. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I take my time in providing you with the best quality stock picks as possible. So please, for that reason, subscribe. The goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And this channel has been going like crazy this year. We might even hit that goal this week or next week. So if you can just hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, have a good one.